Shipibo shamans living in the Amazon basin of Peru, gaining the expert experience that shaped her into the shamanic leader she is today. She holds a doctoral degree in psychology and is certified in health and wellness consultation. Mary continues to strive to build a better world with her drive to bring shamanic teachings to all in an easy-to-understand way that allows concepts to be applied in the contemporary world. Dr. Mary Newstrom.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for inviting me back. I appreciate coming. I love talking to the spiritual community. A little bit more about myself for those that may have not been at one of the other talks is I have always been interested in spirituality. Even as a little girl, really the mystical really intrigued me, and I grew up Catholic and was really introduced to rituals and that type of spirituality. That didn't resonate with me, and so I was more of a seeker, like many of you here. And through that, looked at energy healing, became attuned to Reiki in the 80s when it was really not known, took my first shamanic journey in the 90s, and sought out teachers that could really expand my understanding of spirituality. But it was when I went to Peru and got introduced to the Shipibo shamans that things came more into place. And that's what I really got the message to bring more of a nature-based spirituality, that's what shamanism is, back to the Midwest, back here, and really talk about it. Doing workshops, seminars. I have a training program that allows any individuals to go deeper into their shamanism and their spirituality. So today what I want to do is talk about a little bit about walking in light, walking in your spirituality, your light. What does that mean? And walking in light means living our values instead of just stating them. You live through self-awareness and self-love. Who we are is how we live in light. Living into our values means that we do more than profess them. We actually walk the talk. And we do that by practicing living our values. Does that mean we are always successful? Not necessarily. You may stumble and you may have to try again. We walk our talk, we're clear about what we believe in, and hold it important as we strive to align our intentions, words, thoughts, and behaviors. Now, how is this connected to shamanism? When many think of shamans, they think of a spiritual healer steeped in secret knowledge and mysterious powers. And that's just one part of it. Shamanism is the earliest spirituality that's known. It's been practiced everywhere in the world. It's cross-cultural. It's a cross-cultural quest for knowledge and personal power. It predates all religions, psychologies, philosophies. Through the development of techniques over thousands of years, shamans allow individuals to learn consciously to bridge the different dimensions, the different spiritual multiverses. And our world is made up of many different dimensions, but because of limitations, we only see the one that we're in. And the term that it's called ordinary reality. And we miss all the things that's called non-ordinary reality, or you might want to call mystical experiences, the spiritual, the divine. We really, because we're so focused on this plane, we really miss those miracles. The shaman's power as a visionary, seer, and healer has been traced back to Siberia, actually India, South and Central America, North America, everywhere. And they have evidence suggesting that it's at least 20 or 30,000 years old. The word shaman is a Sibtungus Siberian word, and it means one who knows, one who sees. The word shaman has been adopted by anthropologists to refer to people of non-Western cultures. So when you hear the word, maybe witch, medicine man, medicine woman, seer, any word that really is to encompass an ancient spirituality, think shaman. That's a good way, because actually that's how it's all been lumped together. And then within that, of course, there's nuances with how you practice within that. Shamans know about energy and how it works in the body and our environment, and how things are interconnected with the web of life. Now, that is a key concept of shamanism. This is going to connect to the energy that I was talking about, walking in light. With shamanism, there is a fundamental understanding that we're all interconnected. And I think that's a pretty easy concept that a lot of people can embrace. But it goes as far as that we're interconnected to the animals. Now, pets, once again, I think people would say, yes, of course, I'm connected to my pet. But it's like all the other animals, and the trees, and the air, and the water. For some people, that's a stretch, but for shamanism, because it's an earth-based spirituality, it sees that we are all interconnected, and that is called the web of life. The key thing with that, too, with the energy, is we understand that energy follows intention. What you feed grows. So if you put your attention on one particular thing, that's going to manifest, that's going to grow. Walking in light and living your values is how you set things in motion. So if you want things to change, you have to do the work, but you can also, what are you focusing on? What are you feeding? For example, if you're thinking, oh man, life's a bummer, nothing goes right, that could perpetuate, because that's what you're feeding. But if you feed the positive, yep, I've had some stumbles, some things going on, but you know what, things are going to be better, and this is what I'd like. That's what you're feeding. Now the key is, I'm not going to tell you that's the only thing you have to do. So if you want something to happen, you want a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, you can't just be saying, that's what I want. You got to study. You got to take the tests, write the thesis. You have to do it. And so that's key. So sometimes I think we forget the steps. That's what I hear when I hear criticism about, oh, you people just believe in love and light and everything will be okay. You have to do the work too. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're going to do, one thing I didn't mention is we're going to do actually 2 exercises today with my presentation that will hopefully get us closer to really understanding these concepts. So like I said, walking in light and living your values is how you set things in motion. How you set things in motion because you're feeding that energy. If life is just about energy in the web of life, what are you feeding? So actually, periodically, what I want you to do, a little homework if you want it, is to take stock. What am I feeding? You could be going throughout your day. Am I feeding positive or negative? What am I feeding? Yep. And, okay, and one thing that I used many years ago, I listened to, who remembers Course in Miracles? It's kind of having a resurgence. Okay. I never read it, but I got this one cassette tape. This is in the 80s, so I cannot remember where I got it. But I listened to this, and there was about 2 sentences that have really impacted me. And it was, when something goes awry, wrong, whatever, say to yourself, there's another way of looking at this. And I've really used that. So something goes wrong, there's another way of looking at this. Yeah. And when I'm talking about this too, remember there's scales of things that go wrong. If something goes terribly wrong, you can have those emotions too. So kind of keep this in perspective of how I'm saying it. But something goes wrong, you stub your toe, darn. Well, there's another way of looking at this. How many people take like an illness as your body or the universe is saying, slow down? Right? Okay, that's an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. As you feed your values of kindness or caring, for example, this allows you to walk in light, to walk in a spiritual light. These high vibrational energies attune you to the spiritual world. So walking in light simply means that you're walking in a high vibrational way. Does it mean we're perfect? No. You could become perfect, but that means you probably transcend and you're not here. So that means the rest of us, we're practicing, right? So I know I have an issue. My big challenge is I can be impatient. I have been working on it a lot because I talk about it a lot. So it seems not as much, but it's still an issue. And it probably always will be, because that's what I need to work on. Hurry up. Everyone's holding me back. Why is this car driving so slowly? So the key is to realize there's another way of looking at things. What's the spiritual lesson? And how can you let it go and become better for it too? So I want to say this again because it's so important. By living with high vibrational values, high vibrational energies, you are being attuned to walk with spiritual light. It's attuning you. You're being attuned. All that means is you're vibrating at the same level. So caring, kindness, love are all high vibrational emotions. Okay, we're going to do our first activity. And this is actually going to be a guided meditation to help you feel the high vibrational energies and become one with them. So I'm going to walk you through this. And if I pause, I might rattle or something like that, or just have it in silence. But we are just going to feel some high vibrational energy of different emotions. So close your eyes. And I want everyone to envision a beautiful field. And when you're envisioning the field, it's a perfect day. So it's just how you like it. So if you like it really, really hot, it's hot. If you don't like it as hot, it's not, but there's a slight breeze. Look around. What's around you? Is there some special wildflowers that you like? And you look to your left and you see a little hill, not too big. Walk over to that and walk up on the top, get to the top of the hill. And the hill is covered with this really soft grass. Really kind of like, oh, this is really soft and nice. And so comfortable you lie down or you sit down on this nice soft grass. And when you do, you see a light beaming from the sky, coming down and filling you with warmth and the high vibrational emotion of love, unconditional love. Feel the energy, take it in. Some of you might see it or sense it more. Do you feel it like a warmth in your body or a tingling? Do you happen to hear something or maybe even smell something? We all process energy from different multiverses in different ways. And we're taking this in, this unconditional love. This is a high vibrational energy. Ask the energy to attune you to this energy, raising your vibration. And as we are now transitioning to a new vibration of gratitude, you see that stream of light of love, not necessarily pulling away because now it's always with you because it's attuned to you. But another beam of light's coming down, and it's gratitude. Gratitude is very high vibrational. If you walk in gratitude and love, you will definitely be walking in light. So the beam is coming down, it is filling you up, filling you over, and you feel so much gratitude for your high vibrational life. It's bubbling over. You're becoming one with the gratitude. Feel that energy, sense it. Ask to be attuned to the energy of gratitude. Just let it enter every pore, every cell in your body. We're going to move on from this emotion and this high vibrational energy. So you feel the light beams pulling away, but never leaving you because you now are attuned to these energies. But go ahead and energetically feel like you're standing up and come down that little embankment with the soft grass. Stroll around your field, and we're going to call this the blessing field. That you can return to this blessing field at any time if you need a new attunement, you need a reset, or you just want to feel this energy. Stroll around the blessing field, taking everything in. Are you feeling any other high vibrational energies? Maybe compassion, kindness, caring. What are you feeling? This is a chance for you to have a personal experience different from other people. Maybe that what you energetically need today. Are you getting an infusion of high vibrational feeling of the spiritual, the divine? Whatever it is, ask to be attuned to that energy too. Remember, you can always come back to this place, but I'm going to bring you out before we do our next exercise So come on out. You do not need to detach from this high energy that you connected to, but you do want to disconnect from non-ordinary reality. That's what we call the different multiverses. Further disconnecting and fully disconnect. You're back in your bodies now. Are people feeling like they're back? We'll have a chance for questions and feedback after we get through the second exercise too. Shamans, as I mentioned, shamanism believes in a universal web of life. And what you were experiencing was, in the blessing fields, that web of life. It interconnects and binds everything together. Shamanism has no fixed dogma, no special text. It's what you make it. And it's so, because it doesn't have a dogma or special text, it's not a religion. So it's compatible with any other types of religion. There's no one leader of shamanism. Excuse me. Like with the Catholics, there's a pope. There's nothing like that. Shamans are men and women in a community found, like I said, found all over the world. It's been practiced everywhere. And I really am drawn to it because I like the fact that it can be so individual. You don't really need any tools. You can see with the exercise we went through, we didn't need any special tools. You just need yourself. And because it's been practiced everywhere, you probably, if you're interested in this, you probably have had some type of lineage with shamanism. Mine goes back to the Scandinavian Nordic. That's my lineage. But because you don't need any special tools, because you're the tool, how you think, what you feed, walking in spiritual light, you're the tool. I really call this the people's spirituality. You don't need anything. And how powerful is that when you already have all the tools you need? It's right here and right there. You have everything you need. But if you like buying all those crystals and you like buying all the other sparkly stuff, go for it, because that is fun too. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying you don't have to. All your things are out in nature and within us. What I teach and practice is called core shamanism. And of course, since I've been studying with the Peruvian shamans, it has a shamanic focus with that. Intention is key to wherever our energy goes, and how you see the world and how it's projected back at you. So what that means is really, as I've already mentioned, what you feed grows. Sometimes that's a mirror. What if we're going to be looking at something and that's what we're feeding, that's kind of seeing what we see back. The question to pose is, are you feeding the energy of love, compassion, faith, caring? Those are the things you will see reflected back to you. And if you don't, what do we say? There's another way of looking at this. There's another way of looking at this. Core shamanism, just quickly, was developed by Michael Harner. He was a researcher. What he as an anthropologist, and what he was intrigued with, he noticed that there was shamanic cultures all over the world. And so he looked at what are the common things. That's why it's called core shamanism. What are the common things? And there was a lot. The biggest one was the altered states of consciousness. The community shaman would be able to go into different multiverse, different dimension for healing and divination, and safely come back with that information. The Many of them, what was interesting was he did find that many of the cultures use some type of rhythmic beat, drumming. That's what, I know that there's a lot of drumming circles and people like drumming. So he noticed, most of the communities use a rhythmic beat so that your brain waves change and you can get into this different dimension. And that can be with rattling, drumming, whatever. But that's only 2/3 of the population of the shamanic culture. The other third uses plant medicine. And I have studied with both of them, because when I go to Peru, I do ayahuasca retreats. And by the way, I take people every year. We're going in June, if you're interested. There's information back behind there. But that's interesting, because I think we think, all the shamans are using that rhythmic beat. When I started going to Peru about 10 years ago, the shamans didn't have a drum at all. They didn't have a drum, because there was no reason to. They take ayahuasca, and that's how they get into the different dimension. But now they do, and I suspect, I haven't asked, well, why do you have a drum now? But I suspect someone showed up looking like me and said, well, why don't you have a drum? And so they felt compelled, now they drum a little bit. But they don't use that to get into the different dimension. But it is, that is what's common throughout shamanic cultures, is using something to access, a ritual to access the different dimensions. And we can do that here with our drumming or rattling, or if you have a meditation retreat or meditation practice, how do you set that up? Maybe you light a candle. How do you announce to yourself and maybe the divine, hey, I'm going to start meditating? So think of your rituals too. All right. Walking in light and being able to merge with these high vibrations, what I want to talk next about is your own personal power. And it's fundamental in walking in light. What I mean by that is when we are walking in high vibration, we are doing that obviously with intention. I've already talked about that. But we also can take steps to walk in high vibration with how we do other things, such as, are we exercising or at least going on a walk? So what are we doing on this physical plane that allows us to move into those high vibrational emotions? I know that when I'm under a lot of stress or things are going a little haywire, of course, I'm looking at it, trying to look at it differently. But who doesn't feel better if you go for a walk? And it's even better if it's like sunny out, not like today. But that's what I'm saying is with that personal power, that means tapping into your body, this body, getting enough sleep, looking at the food that you're eating. What are you watching on TV or reading? You may be able to feel like, I feel better when I watch this show, or I don't feel as good. That's an indication how it's affecting your vibration. Who are you hanging out with? Who are your friends? What's the activities you're doing? These are things to ponder. Are you drinking a lot of alcohol? A person wants to be as strong as possible to be able to walk in light. And we do everything in baby steps. So at this point, am I asking you to make radical changes? No. You look at, what could I change? And that might help you. Or at least pondering it is a good start. Walking in light, walking in the divine energy of high vibration, one way to do that is nature. Nature is our greatest healer. The way that you can do that is take a walk. There's a lot of great lakes around here, places to walk. You can connect with house plants, your garden in summer, right? Go out and if you're walking, see if you feel the energy of the trees and the plants. Maybe you come across an animal. So really using nature as a springboard to connecting to that divine energy. You might want to, there's a beautiful song called Morning Sun, and I know some people get up every morning and sing that song, welcome the sun in. Maybe you have a ritual at night of gratitude, listing 5 things you have gratitude for. Those are all going to help you see things in a different way and really bring up that high vibrational energy. Okay. What I'd like to do is do our second exercise, and we are going to go back to our blessing field, but then we are going, next to it is an enchanted forest, so we're going to go into our enchanted forest, and we are going to go for healing. And we're going to bask in the healing energy of the tree of light. That's a tree that the vibrational energy that I work with when I go to Peru now, it's the highest vibrational energy that I've been introduced to. And I want you to feel it. And I believe some people have already felt it if you were at some of my other talks here. And we're going to just be able to sit into that. And that'll take us to the end. We'll have a little bit of time if anybody has questions. But go ahead, close your eyes. You're back in your blessing field. If you don't know what that means, it's just a beautiful field with grass, maybe some wildflowers. Maybe you're hearing some songbirds now. And you look to your right and you see trees. That's our enchanted forest. We're going to go in there, so start walking towards that. And as you do, you're filled with gratitude and love. You remember those emotions that we just experienced. And now you're getting closer to the enchanted forest, and you see there's a path on the left and the right. We're taking the one on the right. And as we do, you can just feel the temperature dropping. But you know what? It's still comfortable. But things have changed, so now you're smelling maybe the trees, so evergreen and pine, something else. You can feel the crunching or hear the crunching underneath your feet. Maybe the hooting of an owl. And as we're winding along that path, you're seeing something glowing in front of you. And you know that is the healing energy of the divine coming through, manifesting as the tree of light. And we're making our way to that. And you may see it as an actual tree that's glowing. It may be showing itself differently to you. And once you get to the tree, I want you to settle in because we're going to be here for a few minutes. I want to make sure that you get a chance to really get a deep healing today. Feel that energy. What's the energy, the vibrational energy of the divine? Obviously, very high vibrational, highest vibration that we can feel. And for some of you that are like more of an adventure, you can shimmy up the branches after you've asked permission, if you can do that. There's no physical things to hold you back in different multiverses. So you can go up the tree, the branches. You can also create a chair to sit on, or you can sit on the ground. And our intention here is just to let that beautiful energy just soak into every cell you have. And if there's something that, there's an ailment or there's something that you would like raised, eliminated, pushed out, that's our intention, is just to allow the divine to come in and create a situation where that energy can take care of that issue. I'm going to let you all sit in this energy for a little bit of time, and I'll just rattle. Maybe some of you are sensing someone around you, maybe a guide or a guardian angel. Welcome that energy and see if there's any messages. For those that are interacting with maybe a guardian angel, is there a message that you'd like to share with them, or a desire or wish? We just had another minute or two in this energy. Just really accept it coming in, filling your heart and your soul, clearing anything that's no longer serving you, allowing that to go. You don't need it anymore. Let's start making our way out of our enchanted force. Say goodbye or thank you if you are interacting with anyone. And then, of course, the tree of light. Know that you can come back here. This is my gift to you. You know how to come back. So we're all energetically either shimmying down the tree or standing up, making our way out of the enchanted forest. On our path, retracing our steps. Hearing maybe that owl hooting. We're back into the blessing field, the field. And in the field, you're now back to your starting point, wherever you started. And so energetically, you're coming back into your body. You're detaching from non-ordinary reality, staying with the high vibration of the emotions you've been feeling, but you're detaching from that multiverse. You're further detaching, and you're fully detached. You're back in your body now. Just take a couple minutes to come back in, make sure that you're back in your body. Walking in light means living in high vibrational energy. It means trying to do your best, seeing maybe things in a different light, and really looking at what are you feeding, because what you feed grows. Questions, comments?
Yes, and some shamans send negative energy, and if so, how can you protect yourself?
Anybody can send negative energy. So, yes. There's a couple ways. One is you can visualize the high vibrational energy of the divine around you, protecting you. It can protect you a couple different ways. It could be mirrors, so it's reflecting back that negative energy. Or it could be more like visualizing like a wall or a bubble, and it doesn't allow them to come in. Other questions or feedback? Yes.
What is the name of Ayahuasca?
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 Yep.
What is ayahuasca? Ayahuasca is special what you taste, special thing you taste, right?
Yes.
Because my son-in-law just came from Mexico, from same workshop. And so as I'm reading a lot of, I'm study Carlos Castaneda, about this knowledge, old Mexican shamans. So it's very close. This knowledge very close to mine soul, because I believe I was experiencing my past life was same place. So it's very high vibration knowledge, but this special thing. Old shaman, Mexican, whatever, Peru Mexican, they use it for purpose, and they use this for small group. They not let everybody taste it. They, before use it, you need very balance yourself, be a very high vibration person, be shaman, be to do. Now they put it in the business type of, they invite everybody, they make business, make money, and offer like people who doesn't have this knowledge, experience, and just simple people, regular. I think it's not illegal even to do it. So I don't kind of like it, but people have freedom, of course.
Yeah.
So, and this about, I just ask my question about your experience with this thing.
Oh, I've been going back to working with the Shipibo shamans. This year will be my 9th year. I go to an ayahuasca retreat, and which means there are 4 ayahuasca ceremonies over the 10 days. And if you do go with me, I help you prepare. You do want to go in a safe situation with someone you know. I think the way, this is just the way the world has changed, but sometimes people look on the internet and say, I'm going to go to have an ayahuasca experience, and they don't know the leader. And that's why I vetted these shamans, and they happen to be women, for 9 years. And you want to be in a safe environment that will allow you to transcend and really make those spiritual growth that you're looking for. Other questions?
We have another question over here.
Thank you for being here today. You were talking about intentions, and that reminded me of what I have on my calendar in the bathroom. It says, live less out of habit and more out of intention. And it didn't really hit me until today, what that really meant. So,
Oh, wow, thank you.
you're talking about the having rituals or having practices. So that's more intentionality, and I hadn't been thinking about it that way.
Yeah, and I want to just tack on to that. Perfect. Is, for example, on Sunday morning, we come here, and that is a way that we trigger in ourselves, like, oh, it's Sunday morning. I am honoring whatever you call the divine, God, divine, the higher power. It's a chance for you to come together in community. And so that's with intention and rituals. Like, a good ritual would be at the end of the night, a list of 5 things you have gratitude for. That's going to immediately raise your vibration. It's going to set things in motion for you to see things differently, like, geez, I had a really bad day. I don't know if I have 5 things. That will help you see things differently. Anything else?
Wait.
I'm a little curious about mushroom medicine. Do you have any tips on that, or do you think that's totally different than ayahuasca?
Totally different. And I am not an expert on the mushroom one. It's the same idea of healing the body. And ayahuasca, I look at, is really takes you to that depth where you really need to look at maybe your traumas and hardship to overcome. And with the mushrooms, I think that you can do that, but I think it's more of a more pleasant process of, like, maybe not so intense, but longer.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with microdosing all summer, and it really connected me with nature, but I haven't done the macro. I've been afraid. So, and I don't know, sometimes I wonder if I am disconnecting myself from my spiritual guide by needing these things, or using them, I guess.
Do you feel like you are connected, or?
I think I've always been spiritual and have like this intuition, and then the mushrooms kind of enhance it, but I wonder if I should stray away and just trust my like natural self. Not be reliant.
What a shamanic response would be, check with your guides.
Okay.
And get a feeling for what they're saying, and what they want you to do. Ultimately, the best thing would be to rely on yourself. But having these situations where you also use them periodically to enhance and go deeper is okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciated being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Dr. Mary. So now is time we are going to gather we are a totally independent organization here. LHE is funded by your donations. This is our primary source of income, which allows us to keep the lights on and bring all these amazing speakers to you, amazing speakers and experiences. We invite you to be a partner with us in supporting the spiritual community. We are grateful for your support here. And with that, we will be passing baskets around. And
Programs and back. After the service, I have information about my programs and to get on my newsletter list.
On a sleepy endless ocean, when the world lay in a dream, there was rhythm in the splash and roll, but not a voice to sing. So the moon fell on the breakers, and the morning warmed the waves, till a single cell did jump and hum for joy, as though to say, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I've ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden, then the day shone bright and round her, till the one turned into two, and the two into 10,000 things, and old things into new. And on some virgin beachhead one lonesome critter crawled, and he looked about and shouted out in his most astonished drawl, "This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I've ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden." The sky was buzzing and the ground was carpet green, and the weary children of the woods went dancing in between. And the people sang rejoicing when the fields were glad with grain, this song of celebration from their cities on the plain. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I've ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Now there's smoke across the harbor, and there's factories on the shore, and the world is ill with greed and will and enterprise of war. But I will lay my burdens in the cradle of your grace, and the shining beaches of your love, and the sea of your embrace. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I've ever known. Should I
come with gifts to offer. That is, you expand your gifts, and nice feeling goes out to your families, your friends, your communities, and the planet that we all share. We're all truly blessed by that. Be the best version of yourself, and we thank you all so much. A few closing words here.
Absolutely.
We have doing our circle still.
It's going to be a small.
It'll be a small circle.
Yeah,
probably
yes.
cutting inside
Yeah.
halfway through that center circle.
Come on up. Yeah.
We need a director of circle up here.
Someone cut through, yeah.
Cut through. Matt Sachs, you go through.
Yeah. Somebody start.
There we go. The director of the circle.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Once again, I want to say thank you for inviting me back. I love being here. We want to definitely thank our higher power, God, divine, for today. We want to show gratitude and love, bring in those high vibrational energies. We thank our spirit guides, guardian angels, spirit animals. We thank the energy of the plants that we love so much, and the trees, and the air, and the water. We close the ceremony with love and light. We close the ceremony with love and light. We close the ceremony with love and light. Let us all walk in light. Oh. Whee! Thank you, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve spirit.